What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Basement Monsters podcast on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm Ivan Vargas. To my left is my boy, as always, Luke Nettels. And we got a newcomer, Darius Odom. Darius, what's up, brother? How are you doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing good.
Chilling. Darius, I've been trying to get Darius on the podcast. I asked him about it, what was it, last year?
Yeah, last year.
Last year, Darius talks good football. He's just like us, just love talking football. We'll just talk football all day long, talk your ear off about football. But, man, good to have you, bro. I'm glad to have you, Bears. Let's talk about the Bears first. Just to start off. Sorry, Luke. I had you lead off for the last 2 weeks. The Bears are going to lead off because we have a guest. Dude, talk to me about the Bears versus the Falcons today, man. How you feel? How you see this happening?
The Bears versus Falcons. I honestly think that it could, we can go either two ways. I think the Bears could have could have a problem with the Falcons, especially with the tight end. I think he would be a sleeper, to be honestly. I think Calvin Ridley is a tremendous player. I don't know if the Bears have a response for that. And I know Julio's out. Todd Gurley's still on the team. Still a sleeper.
Still a sleeper.
You just never know.
Well, we saw Adrian Peterson go off on us in the first week. And Todd Gurley's more of a threat in the red zone now, I think now.
Right.
But if you get him going,
right,
you get him running downhill, Todd Gurley's a threat. We saw Adrian Peterson do it in the first game.
Yeah, the other thing is, too, if Todd Gurley gets going running, that's going to set him up later in the game to start leaking him out in the passing game.
Right.
So, he's, obviously, you talk about Adrian Peterson, but I feel like Todd Gurley's a little more versatile than Peterson. But, I think that another thing is just now that Julio's gone, you pretty much know that, you could almost double Ridley, and then they have to go to the tight end, Hurst, which I pointed out. Just want you to know, beginning of the season.
Hayden Hurst.
But like I said, then you force Matt Ryan to have to throw to people that he's not used to throwing to. That Gage guy's all right. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. That defense is going to have to get after him if they want to have a chance.
Yeah, what do you think, Darius? What do you think the defense is going to get? What do you think they're going to have to do in order to go ahead and get this game done?
I think that for the far as the Bears defense, I believe that front four has to create havoc. I believe in order for the Bears to win, Mac has to have at least a strip fumble. He has to. He has a sack fumble. I think he has to have at least one. I believe the front four should at least have 4 or 5 to win.
4 or 5.
Yep, and then at least one interception, seal the game.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't happen, it could be a long game for these guys.
Yeah, it can, and it's hard to say who the Bears are at this point because of how they played. It's been real sloppy. It's been sluggish. A lot of teams around the league looks familiar, right?
Yeah.
A lot of teams around the league, smart ass, looks familiar, but a lot of teams around the league have been struggling. They're nothing's crisp. So I feel like this game, we've talked about it all season long, all 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That the lack of a preseason is affecting these guys because now we're talking about positioning. Now we're talking about the little things that a player has to know that he picks up during training camp that you work on in training camp and reps in general. They don't have that, so they're getting the reps live game action reps, and some of the teams have not been benefiting from that. But week 3, it's time to go, and I think this Bears defense. I think this Bears defense is going to have a field day against Matt Ryan, and they're beating down, dude. 20 points. They dropped a 20-point lead again.
That's true.
That's Atlanta's. That's Atlanta's call sign.
Yeah,
that's
the
28-3 Super Bowl. What happened?
So for some reason Atlanta likes dropping 20-point leads. I guess that's their identity.
Yeah,
that's their identity.
That's their identity.
But, on the flip side of that, we can talk about this later game with the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got Dak did what he did against Atlanta last week.
Right.
Now he's up against Russell Wilson, which is the best quarterback in the game so far.
Mm-hmm.
And he might have to put up another 40.
Honestly, I don't know. I think Russell is the best, but as of right now, he's the best quarterback in the game. And we want to go you always want to go on a hype train with Mahomes, and Mahomes is a great player.
Yeah.
But Russ has been doing this consistently.
Always.
Consistently throughout his career, Russ has been doing this.
Because
not much.
Yeah, because if you look at it last year, it was at one point between Russ and Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
And then, eventually Lamar had edged them out. But like I said, I think Russ consistently been doing this for years. And I think he still don't get his credit. I think people still overshadow him with Mahomes and Lamar and Deshaun.
You know who they ring him in with? And it's kind of ridiculous now because he's having a great year. Kyler Murray. They reel him in with the run of the mill short quarterbacks and never really putting certain players under an umbrella is really detrimental to it's detrimental to the player and the franchise depending on how you use them, because we've seen players leave. Drew Brees. We've seen players leave their teams because of a certain discrepancy. They're too short or too this,
right,
and become Hall of Famers. Doug Flutie. But let's stick with that Cowboys game. It's gonna be a dogfight. Darius, I know you said it was gonna be like you saw it being a shootout, but with the Seahawks edging it out.
Yes, I think the Seahawks edging them out. Comes back to what I said. I think Russ is pretty much. I feel like, to me right now, I give him as early MVP. Right now he's an early MVP candidate. I believe he's gonna take his team and should beat the Cowboys.
Well, let's talk about the Cowboys, Luke, because I believe in Russ.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in Russ. But let's talk about the Cowboys and Dak. Dak's been going through some stuff. Dak recently opened up about his battle with mental health. After the loss of his brother, I believe he committed suicide. I mean, it's a sad story. But he opened up about it. He received some unnecessary criticism from other sports anchors, national sports anchors, and stuff like that. And it's unfair. But I told you this when we were talking before the show. I said I think Dak and the Cowboys. I think that was a turning point game. That was the game that defines what your team's going to be and what your season's going to be. They came back from 20 down. 20 down. They came back. Dak led them back from 20 down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was things that went their way, but Dak Prescott did that.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the Cowboys are right there. Like we were at your crib and we were making Super Bowl picks.
Oh yeah.
And I had Colts Cowboys. Yeah. Right off unbiased Super Bowl pick, I had Colts Cowboys. But and I know everybody wants to give the Cowboys some crap because they had the talents. They haven't done it year after year after year. I think this year's different.
I don't think it at all. I think Dak. I think he got lucky. He played Atlanta. Like, hey, we're gonna go up, but then we're gonna not play defense. I don't think he's gonna get that in Seattle. I think Seattle is just on it, and Russ makes that go. DK Metcalf is a beast. I don't think Dallas can stop him. Then you throw in Tyler Lockett, the streaker. And then you throw in Greg Olsen. And then you throw in Will Dissly that's coming off another, he had an injury last year, Achilles or whatever it was. But this year he's starting now slowly getting back into the game a little bit. And, the running game, whether it be with Russell or what's the running back's name? Carson. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. And like I said, we talked about this earlier today with Dallas Cowboys. They could have one of the best linebacking corps in the league. But you got Sean Lee and you got Van Der Esch that can't stay on the field.
Can't stay on the field.
All three of those guys, Jalen Smith and those two guys were on the field all for a season. Dallas would be. I would give Dallas a little more credit, but I don't trust in Dallas' defense. That's why I say the Seahawks are going to light them up.
So it's the defense that now.
Right.
So now it's really flip flop because I always thought it was prior years I thought it was defense is there and then offense is kind of catching up.
Right.
But now it's flip flop. It's overcompensated for itself. And now you got an offense that's ready to go and a defense has holes.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's gonna be tough. Let's go ahead and bounce over to your game, bro.
Yeah.
Bucks Broncos. It should be a good win for the Bucks just because Drew Lock's out for the Broncos. The Broncos just signed Blake Bortles. So you know how that's going to go. I think Jeff Driscoll's going to be actually the backup, or is going to be the starter. I'm not sure. We got to look it up.
There's no way
Bortles starts. But they signed him. Like that's.
I don't understand that. John Elway is so critical of the quarterback position in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
and you know what this man has done, Blake Bortles, and like I don't know, man. Like if they're, I don't want to say that because I don't want to get everybody stirred up, but Kaepernick's still out there too.
He is.
And I would think I would take him over Bortles.
Wouldn't you?
I think so.
Wouldn't you?
I mean,
Wouldn't you take?
What do you have to lose?
At that exactly. At that point, what do you have to lose? You you have a guy who you've seen be horrible, and you got a guy who's been on the couch. Granted for reasons that are probably outside of his control, but. He's there. Like if he doesn't work out, you cut him and you move on. Exactly. You go ahead and you sign Blake Bortles to be on your team.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
And I just feel like he was just an extra body. That was it.
That's it.
Just like okay, if something happened, we got somebody to fill a slot. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also going back to what you guys are saying about the injuries this year. This year is going to be the year of next man up.
Oh
yeah, for sure.
Next man up. So. Everybody has to be, pretty much have to keep playing. Like you have to, everybody has to hold their own because it's literally the next minute. I mean, the 49ers team is just
depleted. And they're talking about, they talked about that MetLife Stadium. Talk about how it's the worst turf in the league. Yeah. It passed another inspection by the Players Association and the NFL today. So, I mean, I'm not going to blame. I mean, you could blame it on the field turf surface. That's a given. I mean, we played on shitty field surfaces that you shouldn't ever play on. But I'm going to credit to it the lack of preseason, the lack of getting them football shape. You got to get them. You got to get them joints and ligaments moving, flowing, going every which way, stop and go back. 100% to slow it to zero. I think it's a lack of the training camp, lack of preseason. It's
hard to go from being dormant all off season to boom go. Like it's you're gonna see this. Just like you're gonna see. We spoke about the last 2 weeks, but I mean I was thinking week 3 or 4, but I'm starting to think maybe it might be more like week 5 or 6. When these teams actually start getting going, like because we were talking about it earlier with Tom Brady and the Bucs. Like okay, it looks a little funny right now. It's okay right now.
Right.
Everyone's expecting fireworks. But like I said, Tom Brady is a smart guy. He's a smart guy. And that's the one thing Tampa has on their side is that Tom Brady's only going to get smarter and more comfortable in that offense as it goes throughout the year. Right. So you play in Tampa at the end of the year, it might be one of your most dangerous problems if you're a playoff team looking to get in because they may come through and clean your clock.
Right, and you know what? If the Saints' struggles on offense continue, and the Panthers don't look like a real threat. I mean,
no.
They look like the Panthers without Cam Newton.
Well, now they look
am I wrong? They look like last year's Panthers without Cam Newton.
Yeah, and now they look like the Panthers without Christian McCaffrey.
And now
let's see what that looks like.
Exactly. It's going to be a mess for Carolina. But go back to the Bucs. That South could still, like I said, regardless of how things could go for the bad, it could go worse for the Bucs because. What if all these teams? What if the Panthers turn it around in a couple weeks and all of a sudden they're riding high? What if the Saints? Yeah. What if Drew Brees settles down? Yeah. Gets that old arm warmed up. Put some oil on the Tin Man. Oil up the Tin Man. Oil up that arm. Oil up those joints. Get them ready to go. Right. And I think in week 4 or 5, like you said, Drew Brees will be fine.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just like this is Drew Brees we're talking about. This isn't some run-of-the-mill guy. Like this is an upper echelon
competitor.
He's a baller, like straight up.
I agree.
Anybody in the NFL, if you make it to the NFL, you are a competitor. Period. Point blank.
If you're one of the best players in the NFL, you're even better. You know what I'm saying? Like This is Drew Brees. This isn't like and he's whatever they're talking about. Drew Brees is going to be just fine. I guarantee you, Drew Brees goes for over 4,000 yards this year.
Let's talk about another big game. It's kind of shocking. It's not that big of a game, but it's 2-0 teams. The Rams versus the Bills.
Bills all day.
I think the Bills. Yeah. The Bills are making me believe in the Bills, man. The Bills are they're Josh Allen is really making me believe in him and what they're doing up in Buffalo. The Rams, 2-0, they find themselves at 2-0 after a year after they lost the Super Bowl, where it was just, you know what I mean? McVay's got them playing pretty good.
Yeah, I think the Rams are. I think this year probably more healthy on the O line. I think last year the O line was struggling, so that's why I think this year you see the O line, doing a very good job. And I think the offense right this year looks better overall than last year. Especially even with the running backs, they got a couple of running backs. It's like a running back committee. They're doing a pretty good job. The wide receivers, of course, Cooper Kupp, and what's the other guy?
Robert Woods.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you still got Higbee out there. So
there you go.
Yeah, and that running back by committee is working for them. I mean, it's all good. The thing is that they got to keep Jared Goff in the pocket and upright. In the pocket and upright for Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Because the MO is flush him out, get him rattled, and it's pick six all day.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
pick six all day.
Rattled quarterbacks. Let's talk about unrattled quarterbacks.
Let's go.
We got the firecracker today. Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson.
Ooh.
That's going to be that is going to be the game to watch.
That's going to be what time is that? Is that the?
I'm not sure. I think they might play later. Maybe it's early.
Is that Monday night? That's Monday night.
It's Monday night.
Yep.
Okay, well it makes sense.
Monday night football.
So wasn't it up until
Sunday night? Sunday night's
Sunday
Packers
night.
and Packers Saints.
Right.
Packers Saints is tonight.
Right.
Tomorrow. So two good night matchups. Today and tomorrow. Today will be Packers Saints. Tomorrow will be Chiefs Ravens. Let's go ahead Packers Saints.
Hold on 1 second before we get
Go
there.
ahead.
I want to talk about remember that a couple years ago it was the Chiefs Rams was the highest viewed game of the NFL. I think this Baltimore Kansas City game is going to break that.
I can see it.
It's two guys.
You got two of the top quarterbacks in the NFL going at it.
One's a passer.
Two of the top teams in the NFL going at it.
One's a passer. One's a runner. We're going to find out which one wins.
I like it. Let's go. Let's bounce back to the Saints and the Packers.
Okay.
Saints, like you said, it's been a rough start, but their defense has always been there. You know that, Darius. Their defense has always been solid because they always carry a chip on their shoulder because they're second fiddle to the offense. But that defense is always there. I think they run into a win against Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers gets slowed down. I think that they slow down Aaron Jones, and they make Aaron Rodgers beat him. But although we've seen Aaron Rodgers do that, we haven't seen him do it with this team, especially if they shut down the running game.
And minus Devontae Adams.
Exactly. With a high-powered offense coming back at their defense.
Right.
And the defense I don't really trust. I trust the defense less in Green Bay this year than I do last year.
For sure.
I agree.
For sure, man.
No, I agree. Actually, I just feel like without Devontae Adams, I feel like who else would you throw the ball to? And then it's like you have a running game, but you have to throw to stack the. So
you're going to go to Aaron Jones all day long?
That's easy. That's easy.
Well, I mean, Aaron Jones is going to be Aaron Jones. I think he's still going to get 100 yards. I don't think there's any denial of that. He's still going to catch the ball out of the backfield. I think the guy that has a big game against the Saints today is Valdez-Scantling.
Marquez. Valdez.
I think MVS is going to.
They've been hoping he would.
They've been talking about it, and even Aaron Rodgers made the statement that he said this might be the most improved player on the team. So and that's
because he's like Devontae Adams.
Maybe
big construction field. You know what I'm saying?
But then maybe that's his problem.
Yeah,
playing under. He's the Scottie Pippen to Michael Jordan.
Right.
He's playing under the shadow. He hasn't been that guy because Rodgers is always looking for Adams.
Yeah.
So now minus Adams, now I think he should be the next guy in targets, and then the rest of them fall behind him. If I'm Green Bay and I'm the coach, that's my game plan.
I can see that. I mean, I would just stick with Aaron Jones and see where he takes me. But I mean, that's just a running back in me. Like I would say you got a quarterback that could beat is a world beater. Let the running backs let him eat so you can take the pressure off him. Like you're gonna have to with this Saints defense, you're going to have to wear that middle down. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to wear the middle down and the edges. If they stick between running in between the tackles and just kind of attacking those edges, throughout the drive, that wears down those ends, wears down that middle. And it's simple football. But that's how you beat the Saints. You got to wear down that line first.
Right, for sure. Right. Call it.
Which one?
Saints Packers.
Oh, I'm gonna go Saints. I'm gonna go Saints. It's gonna be. It's like I'll take 32-20. I'll take 32-24. A late touchdown by the Packers.
I'm gonna say 27 Saints, Packers 20.
I'm going to go 28 Packers, 17 Saints.
That's good too. I can see that happen too.
Without-
Especially if Drew continues this decline. I can see that.
I'll tell you who needs to have a huge game for them today. Or I'm sorry, tonight, whatever it is. Jared Cook.
Oh, definitely.
He's got to have a huge game.
Definitely. Let's go real quick. Let's predict your game, my game. Let's predict
Denver. I'm gonna go 20. Actually, I'll go 28. 10.
28-10.
Yeah.
28-10 Bucks, and then go ahead Bears.
Falcons.
Falcons.
I'm gonna go Falcons. 26. Bears 19.
Okay, I'm gonna go Bucks. 33. I'm gonna go Broncos 17. And I'm gonna go with the Bears. I think the Bears are gonna win 34-17.
I got Falcons. I believe they'll probably put up like I'm going 28 Falcons. Bears 23. Saints. Got Saints 30. Green Bay. Say 26.
26. It's a close game either way.
Yeah.
Close games either way. But no, go ahead.
Oh, then what was the last one?
The Bucks. Yeah.
Oh, Bucks. I think Bucks should win big. I think Bucks can be, say, at least 30. Bucks 30. Broncos 17.
Bucks 30, Broncos 17. That sounds about right. I can see that. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get to the game. The game's about to start. This has been the Basement Monsters podcast for Darius Odom. I'm Ivan Vargas, and for Luke Nettles, we're gonna go ahead and get to you guys at the halftime. Enjoy the games. Like I said, this has been the Basement Monsters podcast on Sports Zone Chicago.
I just heard my favorite band is in town. I'd love to get good seats, but everywhere I've looked, the ticket sites have crazy service fees.
Haven't you heard of TixSplits?
Who?
TixSplits. They don't gouge you with crazy fees. The price they advertise is the price you pay, plus a small delivery fee.
Never pay service fees again. Go to TixSplits.com today. TixSplits.com. Guaranteed seats, low prices. That's TixSplits.com. Every ticket, every venue, everywhere.